Is it possible that JD Vance is the singular most unlikable person in existence? Is that actually possible? He did an interview with his wife. His wife was hosting. His wife, the supposed mother of his children, and she introduces him, and he just kind of like touches her like he'd never seen her before. Check this out.
That's right. Today's special reader is my husband, Vice President of the United States, JD Vance. Thanks for joining us today, honey.
Of course. Good to see you.
Did you see the way that she like backed up? Like she was actually like almost like cringing at his touch. And so maybe you're like, oh, maybe he's just like not that great with women. I would like to remind you that this photo still exists of him with Erica Kirk. Just a reminder, look at this photo and then look at this photo and tell me that he just, oh, he doesn't know how to embrace women. Apparently he does when it's not his wife. That is absolutely crazy. But then he goes on and he starts talking to another show about how he wants more kids. And he pretty much just admits that his wife doesn't even want to touch him.
And now I'm just all like, I would have 9 kids, but you know, as you know, it takes 2 to tango.
And that's not even the only time recently that JD Vance has been in a situation where nobody wanted to touch him. He's been in Switzerland trying to renegotiate this MOU, this fake peace deal, this ceasefire-ish kind of thing that's happening right now, even though for some reason everybody's still attacking during the ceasefire. And he goes there and the Qataris walk in the room and he walks up so awkwardly trying to say hi to them, and they just completely ignore him, go and talk to everybody else but him as he just stands there awkwardly like he's the guy who didn't bring a date to prom. Check this out. I'll be honest with you, I was literally secondhand embarrassed for him. I must have watched that video a dozen times, and every single time I was like, do you understand the lack of respect that somebody has to have for you on that? Like, we talk about Donald Trump not having respect on the world stage. Do you know how little respect you have to have, like, for the vice president of the United States to just completely snub him out? All right, so we know the Qataris don't respect him. We know that, you know, his wife obviously kind of cringes at his touch or whatever is going on with those two. But here's like some of the reasons why. He was literally at the Richard Nixon Foundation talking about how much respect he had for the renaissance of Nixon, saying how if Watergate happened today, it would only be on a 12-hour news cycle, and how it's so similar to him and Donald Trump. Watch this.
So we were talking about this a little bit backstage, but I'm actually fascinated by Nixon as a character in history. I think that his historical legacy is enjoying a bit of a renaissance, but I think deservedly so. As I joked with Robert backstage, if Watergate happened tomorrow, it would be like a 12-hour news story. Like, the idea that it would have taken down a presidency is crazy. And by the way, if you look at the story of how the deep state took down Richard Nixon, it's not all that different from what the same groups of people, the same institutions tried to do to Donald Trump in the first Trump administration. There is a parallel. I also, just at a personal level, you know, okay, young senator, vice president, writes some best-selling books, is hated by the media. It kind of sounds like JD Vance. So I'm a little, you know, I've always liked Richard Nixon. But okay, one other thing about Richard.
Yeah, you're probably right, JD. I'll be honest with you. Watergate probably only would have been on a 12-hour news cycle if it happened today, because what you guys are doing in the White House right now, you do a new Watergate every Tuesday. Like, it's like, oh, Tuesdays and Fridays, it's a new Watergate thing. The amount of fraud that is going on and the amount of criminality and the amount of impeachable offenses that come from the Trump administration that JD Vance is a part of every single week, if not sometimes every single day where we can't even keep up, literally puts Nixon to shame. It's almost as if they feel like Nixon was like their predecessor. Like, oh, the way that you did horrible things was kind of a predecessor to how we're doing horrible things, and he's talking about it like he's proud of it. He's talking about it like it makes him happy that he gets to be so similar to Nixon. Let me know, do you think JD Vance actually has a chance in 2028? Because you know that he's going to be running for presidency in 2028. I don't think Donald Trump believes that he has a chance to run in. That's why he's sending him off to Switzerland to do failed deals. But tell me what you think in the comments. Tell me whether you think JD Vance actually has a chance to actually run in 2028, or if he actually has a chance to become presidency in 2028. Will people actually vote for him? Hit that like button. Let me know what you think.